Welcome. Okay. So, welcome everyone. We're so glad that everyone is here to join us this evening for our Young Professional Roundtable. We're very excited about this. We want to move forward. We also welcome the Zonta International Membership Chair, Deb Lal, who's joining us from Washington State. And she has agreed to moderate and facilitate the dialogue today. So we really want to hear the voices of our members who are young professionals. So we're going to ask everyone who's not on speaking as a young professional, if we'll keep muted. And if you have questions as we go forward, if you'd put them in the chat, Pam Garvin, Lieutenant Governor, is going to monitor the chat and alert Deb to those questions. So, and Skylar, welcome. Another young professional. So I think I'll hand over, and I've agreed that Deb is moderating. I have the privilege to know a number of these young professionals a little bit, and so if I know of anything that I think I might want to follow up on, I'll either jump in or put it in the chat. So
absolutely.
So Deb, thank you for being with us. Thank all of you for being with us, and hand it over to you.
All right. Well, I want to thank Pam for reaching out to me and asking me to do this. As she said, my name is Deb Lal, and I'm the Zonta International Membership Committee Chair. And part of our committee has a subcommittee for young professionals. And I really am being a little bit selfish and wanted to do this because I'd like to gather as much information as possible to bring back to our committee to make sure we can improve the experience for young professionals throughout Zonta. So I am being slightly selfish on that. I would just like to go around the room and have you tell me a little how long you've been in Zonta and what club you're in. That would be really helpful. So I will start with Anna.
Hi, everyone. I'm a part of Zonta Club of New York, part of District 3, and I have my undergraduate degree in acting from Rider University down in Jersey. And I am currently directing a show that's taking place at our conference that's happening in October.
Fabulous. And Bonnie Sue?
Hi, Bonnie Sue here. I think I've been in Zonta for a few months. I don't remember how long. Also in District 3. I'm a learning and product executive. I'm part of a few organizations that are centered around advocating for women and girls, because it's very important to me. Northside, it's a nonprofit that provides mental health and educational services to children and families in New York City. I'm also a big sister, have been for about 13 years, and also on Zonta's board with Anna.
Wonderful. Very active. And Mary? Mary Ship?
I guess I'll have to unmute. It's Mary Lou Shippey, past governor of District 3 and current UN chair for the International Committee in New York.
Fabulous.
Been a member of Zonta since the 80s.
Wow, nice to have you here.
I think, Deb, we're only going to introduce the young people that are speaking.
Okay.
And I'd like to ask everyone else to please mute if you're not a speaker.
Okay,
Okay,
so
please mute.
I want to ask DJ then.
We hear something in the background, so if you could mute yourself, that would be great.
He's a social media star. When he's never been.
Jeanette.
Someone is still talking. I hear some talking.
I think it's Jeanette.
Yeah, Dorothy, can you
keep.
I'm trying, everybody.
Okay.
There you go. So
okay, there we go. So
yeah.
we're just gonna do the
right.
young people who are speaking.
All right.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes, hello everyone. My name is Drew Dang, but please call me DJ. I'm approaching about 2 years of membership with Zonta Morristown, even though I started getting involved around 2023. I got introduced to the club because my sister Serena was a recipient of what is now the Young Women in Leadership Award. And so I was able to meet Maria and Barbara and the rest of the club members and get to know a little bit about Zonta. And I originally was on the social media side helping with Maria, but I'm proud to say that I've helped with a couple different service projects. We're still brainstorming as we go. And it's been a pleasure to be in this club. But currently, from the career side, I'm just working for Five Below in a remote position. So happy to be here today.
Oh, great. Well, I have a lot of questions, yeah, for you. You guys have so much experience to bring to Zonta. It's just amazing. First thing, how DJ, you just said you got involved because of your sister getting the JMK Young Women in Public Affairs. How about you, Anna? How did you get involved in Zonta?
Yeah, so my writer of the show that we're presenting at the conference, she was on a flight back to Texas and sat next to a woman, and they just happened to start conversation. And she is part of the Zonta Club down in Texas, where both me and my writer are from. And so they got to talking. We should survivors of sexual violence. And so it coincides greatly with a lot of the work that Zonta strives to work towards. Um, and so she put me in contact and I met with them down in Texas. And then I was later introduced to some other ladies up in District 3. And then I was into the mix with them, and I've been a member for a whole.
Hope you just went on mute.
Oh,
There you go.
yeah, and so that's been my journey, and so now I'm bringing the show to our District 3 conference in October.
Oh, it's going to be really, we had some taped ones, but to have to know the people who've created the show, it really makes a big difference. How about you, Bonnie Sue? How did you get involved in Zonta?
My aunt-in-law, who's on the call, thank you for always supporting me, Mary Helen. She introduced me to Zonta. Really, quite frankly, if it wasn't for her, I don't think I would have ever heard of Zonta, which tells me we're pretty invisible to the next generation, which I know we'll talk a little bit about. But also, I also want to send another shout out with Pat Latona. She was also, Mary Helen introduced me to the club. I went to the first meeting, and she's over the advocacy committee, and she did such a beautiful job talking about it. And her passion really just really struck me. So it definitely made me very excited. And she's guided me. I know Anna as well. She's just a great mentor. So people like Pat and Mary Helen definitely have made me open my eyes to an organization like Zonta.
Fabulous. So it sounds like you've tapped into the advocacy part of things as well as maybe a little mentoring through some members. And I love that. What experiences are
I
opportunities?
think there are a few more people we need to introduce. So there's Caitlin, Christina, Skylar, and Priscilla.
Okay.
So why don't we start with Caitlin? Why don't you go first?
Yes. Hi, everyone. I'm Caitlin Jones.
Okay.
I'm a member of the Washington, D.C. Club, though I actually live in New Jersey. But when I first got involved with Zonta, I lived in D.C., so I've kept in with that club as we do a lot on Zoom. I received the JMK Women in Business Award in 2018, or I think it was actually 2019 by the time I got the award, applied for it in 2018, something around there when I went to Oxford for my MBA. So Zonta was really important to me because it helped me get my MBA. I actually got another scholarship from another competing organization similar to our mission, but I just really resonated with the mission of Zonta and felt like since it had done so much for me, I wanted to give back. So once I got back stateside and got a job, I joined the club and have been able to be chair. But before I had my son, once I became a mom, my time got a little more constrained, but I originally was part of the scholarship committee. It was great to be able to give scholarships in our local DC area. felt like again I was paying it forward. So and for on the working side, I work in marketing and brand management for a company called Fresh Pet that makes fresh dog food.
Fabulous. Um, and who else is next? I don't want to assume people are.
Christina, why don't you go?
Who's Christina? There she is.
Is there more than one Christina? I don't know.
No, you're it. You're it.
Oh, okay. Well, hi. I'm Christina Chapman. I am president of Zonta Club of Essex County. I say that I'm instead of saying grandfather, then I was granddaughter, and I've been part of Zonta Club since I was in diapers.
Nice.
My mom served as governor. I've served as president, all the things within District 3, and so I I'm happy to be here. I currently am now in I was a former teacher, and now I am in a position where I get to work with teachers, kind of like teaching teachers in a sense. So I'm consulting in education right now. So.
Great. I love that you're a generational Zonchan.
Nice. Very nice. Skylar?
Hello, how's everyone doing? My name is Skylar Ray. I am a part of Zonta Baltimore chapter. I am based out in Alexandria, Virginia. And what got me into Zonta was my cousin. She's been doing service as long as I can remember. And she told me I should be a part of it. So I did some research, and there was a couple topics that really caught my eye, especially when it came to sex trafficking. So I joined the Baltimore chapter, and I'm here. And what I do for work is I'm an event planner. So
Fabulous. Are
Great.
there any other ones?
Yeah, Priscilla.
Okay.
Hey everyone. My name is Priscilla. I am president of the Suffolk Club of Long Island, New York. I've been a member since 2020. I joined because a coworker had been talking to me about Zonta for a couple of years, and I had had a lull in being active in local service after college and was looking for something to do to give back to the community. So when she asked me to join, I said, sure, I'll come check it out. And uh, our service project is really what got me in the door. We go to a local school where there are young women who are at risk for various reasons, and they live on campus, and we bring them an enrichment activity each month. So we try to teach them something or give them an opportunity to be creative or relax, and that just really resonates with me. Yes, baby, it is a video. Sorry, my son on my lap.
I love it.
Yeah, yes, no, video on. And we also work with a local domestic violence and human trafficking league, assisting them with whatever we can when they need us to. And for work, I am a customer service supervisor slash marketing person. Okay, we'll put another video. So,
This one's no fun
that's what I
then.
do. And yep, and oh, okay. Yes, you could have more snack. And I will be at the conference next month, so
Fabulous.
hoping to see you guys there.
Fabulous.
And one last, Ferial. Tell us about yourself.
Hi, I'm Fariel. I'm actually based out of Stamford, Connecticut. DJ is actually my boyfriend, so he got me into the club. I've been attending a lot of Zonta events anyway, so it just made sense to like integrate into the community. One thing I really do love about Zonta is the mission, and honestly, I partially the reason why I joined the club is because I really was looking for something more community based and just giving back to the community as a whole. And I just felt like this mission just resonated with me so well. It just made sense. All the pieces were there.
Wow, yeah, that's great. And I just want to say, is that my friend Lisa with her camera off down there? Hi, Lisa. Sorry, I just had to say hi to her. Um, I've been listening to all of you talk about what brought you to Zonta, and there's really a wide variety of a lot of friends, a lot of family, some scholarships that led you in our direction, and some of you generational. So there really is you all represent a large varieties of ways that people have learned about Zonta and joined. Um, what about some of the experiences or opportunities that you've had that you find value um, in your involvement in Zonta? A couple of you have mentioned DJ. You said something about the service projects that you're doing right now, as well as Priscilla talking about hers, and I think Bonnie, you mentioned advocacy. So, can you share a little bit on those? I'll start with Anna on is there any experience or opportunity that you value in your involvement in Zonta?
Yeah, so I'm also on the, I think Bonnie Sue mentioned, we're both on the board for our club as well, and we're both in the advocacy committee. So that's really important to me is growing the resources that we have available to our community, especially in New York City, where we're constantly met with diverse groups of people. But on a larger level, the biggest thing is that so that is a huge opportunity that Zonta has graciously stepped in to make happen. Couldn't be done without Dorothy and Pam. So thank you, ladies. But yeah, it's been great. It's been great to meet people that work in different fields as well as just get to hear different life experiences. It's nice that this is such a large generational club, and so you get to hear just lots of stories of life and just how, all those influence our everyday things. So yeah.
Great. And Bonnie Sue, how about you?
Yeah, similar. The advocacy in particular was definitely what drew me to Zonta. Any kind of violence against women, ending child marriage, sex trafficking, that's extremely, extremely important to me. So I'm really happy to be part of an organization that takes that very serious. Also, pay equity and political representation is very important to me, which again are things that pulled me over to Zonta.
Great, great. And let's see if I can get this here. Ferial.
So, what really drew me to Zonta was a few months ago they had a event where they were talking about sexual trafficking, and I just felt like that was also very important to me, same as Bonnie Sue and Anna. I just feel like ending child marriage, protecting just children, women in general is just so important. So that's really what drew me in.
Yeah, yeah. And let's see, how about Caitlin?
Yeah, so I was drawn to give back through the scholarship committee, right? I felt like,
Great.
oh, I got this, and it was so helpful. It helped me stay, out of more debt for school, and I wanted to pay that forward to other women, especially ones. I mean, we've given some amazing scholarships to women in the DC club. I mean, we have this one young woman who's been homeless and gotten her way through school, right? So people who are incredibly, incredibly in need, and the scholarship meeting we have where they present their story after we award them the recipients is just so inspiring and helps me because I'm more in corporate America, helps me feel like I'm making a difference somewhere rather than just, feeding marketing and other things, even though I do love my day job and think there's some good purpose there. But another thing that I really drew me, and I think we have a big opportunity is, I think Anna mentioned it too, and Bonnie Sue a bit, is membership, in mentorship, and maybe doing something more formal. So many of you might know Mary Ellen Bittner, who's part of our club. She was actually a Zonta International president. You would never know it because she's very humble, but I learned so much from her, whether it was the way she carried herself or she just has great stories. And as a young woman in my career, and then, now a mom trying to kind of do all the things, having other women that have walked this in front of me and can give advice, right? Like there's no need to recreate the wheel. There's no need to go through the same challenges as others have already learned. So there's been some informal mentoring there, but I think it'd be great to put together a formal mentorship, whether somebody, like Anna wants, somebody else in the arts and directing field, or maybe it's somebody like me who's, a new mom and just wants to figure out how to work and be a mom, and somebody who's, maybe 15 years down the line. So I think so our young professionals give so much to our club in many ways. And it would be a great way to give back to them and also bring other members in. Like, hey, you're going to get something out of this. You're going to have a mentor who might help you get that promotion or help you think about the next move for your career, or help you get involved in the local community the way you want to.
Wow. I'm writing your name down, Caitlin, because I believe very strongly in mentoring.
Mm-hmm.
And I just love hearing how that's affected you in your club and your life. So thanks for sharing that. DJ, how about you? What experience, what involved? Yeah, go ahead.
So the first big service project that I was a part of, and Farrell alluded to this, was our human trafficking awareness panel that we held last October. And that was really amazing because we had representation from all aspects of public life. We had a retired police captain that was there, a assemblywoman, as well as a survivor of human trafficking who shared her story very bravely. And it was so eye-opening to hear about everything that's going on. Not to mention that New Jersey, which I didn't realize, it has all those highways which are major arteries for human trafficking. So it was very eye-opening. It was wonderful to connect with a lot of different individuals representing different spheres of life in tackling human trafficking. So I would probably say that event definitely got me into just getting passionate about contributing to more service projects.
Wonderful. And then Priscilla, what are your experiences that you value in Zonta?
For me, I think it is really the community of uh, just really excellent people talking about what they've done and how they've improved their communities and built stronger platforms for women and helped create coalitions in their neighborhoods as well. Like our group is kind of on the smaller side. We have, I think, 5 people right now. So we're really passionate about partnering with other organizations to, you know, um, exponentially make our impact more impactful, dare I say. So yeah, I think that in a time where we are increasingly getting further and further apart from our neighbors, it's important to bring some of that like local goodness back into the
Yeah.
fold and connect with people.
Yeah.
So yeah, I feel really, really strongly about that.
That's an excellent way to increase our visibility is by partnering with like-minded organizations and becoming more visible. So I love that you do that. Yeah. Did I miss anybody?
Skylar and Christina.
Skylar, okay, and Christina, yes. So, Skylar, can you share with us what some experience or opportunities you've had that you value about your involvement in Zonta?
Yeah, absolutely. I know Baltimore is like pretty much a fairly new club, so we definitely has some service projects. My passion is pretty much human trafficking. So what I did with the chapter is that I love shopping as well. So thrift store shopping is my thing, and I was able to take some survivors out shopping and teaching them how to, buy on a budget and also how to style their clothing from the thrift stores. And then another thing is that we we did a fundraiser around the holidays. A lot of human trafficking survivors. I'm not going to call them victims because they're survivors. They go around from house to house. I mean, from house to house. And what we did, we tried to like we had a fundraiser where we had like people to donate travel size suitcases with like little blankets, toiletries, anything they would need, any essentials they would need to travel from house to house. And then we were also able to get um, Southwest to donate some bags too, so, as well. So those are one of the service projects, and I only been there since I believe since 2024. And I mean, one of the main reasons the service is great, and it's good to have young people that really want to help people. You know, like you have my cousin always said to join Zonta, you definitely have to have a heart to serve. But then also, I think the main reason why I joined Shananta too is also it's a great networking opportunity. You're networking with like-minded women that you would like to be like in the next couple of years, you know. They're definitely great role models, especially with the Baltimore chapter, the DC chapter, Ramona, I have to give her a shout out, and also PG County chapter as well. So I have met some amazing women, and networking is really important.
I love that. Yeah, when I joined, I was a new business owner and I joined to start to network to meet people. And 17 years later, I still love every aspect of it. Um, and then Christina, tell me about your experiences and what you value in Zonta.
Um, I'm sorry. So I apologize ahead of time. I'm getting over a cold, so my voice has been very raspy. So, um, I one of the things that I value about Zonta is more of the service and advocacy. One of the things that, as I said, being a part of Zonta since I was in diapers, being a part of the fundraisers, different events, but also being able to spread awareness about different things such as human trafficking, being able to get collect bags and different toiletries and different things for survivors, um, and putting bags together for them to be able to use, taking even some of those types of bags in that same aspect for women's shelters. So being able to we've done that frequently in our organization. So I've loved being able to see that every single year. Um, Being able to even advocate for families as well. And so just I liked seeing those aspects and seeing how not only does that help locally, but also how that still shows an impact even in in the global parts of our organizations.
Yeah. Wow. I love hearing the involvement of everyone, that everybody's active and you're involved in either an advocacy or a scholarship or service project. It just really makes me happy. How about what would you think and you can raise your hand on this if you have an answer for it, make us more visible for other young professionals to join? What would that do? I know a couple of you had said, oh, so and so told me about it, and I'd never heard about it before. You know, we often say Zonta is the best kept secret, and we don't want it to be a secret. So, how would you say are good ways for us to um, be better, more visible, and more attractive to younger people? Does anybody have
Um,
a response on that? Sky, go ahead.
Um, I remember I was speaking with Ramona about this. It's such an interesting group that we're a part of. You know, when you have like Greek organizations, everyone wants to be a part of the Greek organization because of a lot of things that they stand for, but then also a lot of activities that they throw to as well. And I mean, not to say we should mimic that, but also I hear great ideas, especially I'm sorry, I forgot. And I think it's Anna said it's about the mentorship program with young professionals. I would say like networking events, and then also having a lot of, I heard some panels, just having certain panels and conferences for that will entice our demographic. So if, like I say, if they have a heart to serve, because that's one of the mission statements of Zonta, there's a way you can like in,
Yeah.
incorporate that into panel discussion. Like for instance, with the with the group that we partner with for sex trafficking, they're inviting me to a gala next week, but Elizabeth Smart going to be speaking. Was
Oh,
talking about her experience. I mean, something having somebody that's relatable, like, and I think that will come with just researching, like
hmm.
who we want to attract, who is our demographic, and what can we do to attract them without compromising our values.
Yes. Yeah, those are great ideas. Anybody else think of something that we can do? I know we try to use social media, but you know how that is. If it's not shared and liked, it doesn't go very far. So, Bonnie Sue, did you have something you want to add?
Yeah, I do. I think some of it has to do with our structure as well. If we could stop operating like every club and district is its own island, and if we would, it kind of feels like a free for all. If we were more united, we could have a bigger impact. We could all be marching towards the same goal. That means bigger events, showcasing it, yes, definitely online, but across all of them, all the districts versus just like, again, just one-offs. And when we're doing that, we can partner more with local organizations so people see us actually in the community. And that could help Zonta feel more like a movement rather than just another club meeting. I do think young professionals are looking for places to connect with purpose. And right now, they're just not finding us. So I think we need to be more in the community, more united as a club, and have a stronger voice on social.
I wonder if we could go to career fairs at universities, right, that are local, like, for juniors and seniors. I mean, they're very busy trying to get a job, and I know we don't offer that, but maybe we can say, hey, we offer networking, that could help you get there, or just a good way to give back. Again, a lot
Well,
of,
we also have Golden Z clubs that you can start within your local universities and colleges,
right.
where they can actually be in a Zonta club. And the Golden Zs now are a true club. They are not like your Z clubs, where they're considered more of a service project. So they're actually youth members now, and that's new this biennium. So if you to reach out to them and then you get them involved also with your club. It's a great way to involve the college level. Caitlin, you're right, though. We do need to reach them. Give
Yeah,
them.
the ones who are like graduating, I mean, they have a lot on their plate, and
Mhm.
um, they might not be able to commit now, but maybe at least will kind of be in their future minded at that point, right? So maybe we'll be in their mind once they kind of get settled in their career. And it's great if you're moving to a new city, right? There's a lot of people who might take a job in a brand new city and they could meet people.
Mhm.
Um, so there's good ways there. There's alumni organizations for universities. If we could partner with them, like on a service project, that might be a good way to meet people.
Those are great ideas. Yeah. Anybody else think of some way that we could be doing?
Kind of
Yeah.
adding on to the, oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, no, you're good.
Let's start with you.
I was gonna echo kind of what Skylar was saying, or Sky was saying, when she was mentioning about like how everyone wants to join Greek events because like there's lots of activities. I think in order to get young people excited, there's got to be some boots on the ground activities happening. I know, like our club is trying to move more to in person. Zoom was great for the pandemic, but you lose so much connection behind a computer screen. I didn't even know that Bonnie Sue was from Texas until we were actually sitting in a bar in New York City having an advocacy meeting and like just getting to converse. Because when you're on Zoom, there's so many, like you're muting, you're trying to talk. Like, I mean, just what happened between like, me and Christina were like, are you gonna go? What's going on? It slows it down and it severs those connections.
Yeah.
So I really think I know our club kind of struggles with that because New York City, there's a lot more red tape when it comes to having in-person events. And I know Bonnie Sue and I are really trying to find ways around that. But if we're in the community and we have these things going on, I think community is so important to a lot of people. And that's where you have networking. That's when you find like, hey, I'm also interested in this. And you begin to intertwine your lives together. And that's like the beauty of Zonta, right?
Mhm.
So I think truly it's providing more visible, I think becoming more visible within the community. And if we're having events like, a wine and cheese night or like, hear this author speak about, different items that pertain to the Zonta mission. Like those are things that people want to go to. And if we're sponsoring those types of events, then they get to learn more about us and so on.
Mhm.
So definitely I think having more events within the community would get our name out to younger people.
Absolutely, absolutely. And then I think Christina, you had something to add too.
So actually to build on to build off of that, I think it's kind of a combination of all of those and having the proper structure in place to be able to do it. So like I understand that we have like everybody kind of has a role, but I feel like as much as we have a role, we all get pulled to
Mhm.
do 15 billion jobs within Zata alone. Like we and outside of our organization. So but I think that having like a really solid structure, thinking about those activities, if we're having certain activities, how are we promoting them? And then after they're promoted, after they're done, how are we sharing that promotion? Like so this way it's getting out. Like do we have something in place where there's like a QR code, like, hey, can you post or can you do a hashtag or can you do this thing saying that for this particular event? So this way they have something, we have a stream of those particular things. And this way we could promote our next thing. So maybe we did a wine and cheese, but maybe we want to do another wine and cheese like like 3 months down the line. This way we have it and we can promote it using the ones from that previous event. So it's
So
kind of
being
having
very
having like a
intentional.
yeah, being really intentional about it, but also setting up the structures. It's the same thing even with Golden Z. I even
Mhm.
just recently had a young lady where I was like, I don't have a place for her to go. Like she's asking me about the UN. She's asking about all these things. Like she's really interested, but it kind of was falling flat because we were trying to find all these different people to try to help support her in a sense. Like, and it was great to have people come and want to support, but it was the fact that it was coming from all these different directions and it didn't have a structure of like, is this just one? I need one or two people who I need to
Mhm.
go to so that if she needs to start a Golden Z or if she just has somebody that can support her with making those connections, because maybe she's not ready for Golden Z, but
Mhm.
maybe she wants to be able to help network so that she can get to that part.
Sure, sure. Wow, such great information. I've gotten like 3 pages of notes so far. Didn't take me long. Uh, Next question I want to ask all of you is, in your view, what are the possible barriers or challenges to memberships for younger members, young professionals? Does anybody think that there's any specific barriers that we can address? And we are addressing some, but I want to hear that from you, and then I'll kind of talk about what we're doing on the young professional level. So does anybody, Caitlin, what do you have?
Yeah, Christina, I saw your hand raised first. Why don't you
Oh,
go
I'm
first
sorry,
and
I
I'll
didn't see
follow after you?
it.
One of the things, and I know this is kind of pressing on any age and stage, but I think that's now so with our economy, I think it's about cost. Um, in some of our I know in some parts of our district it doesn't cost as much to do certain things and your fundraisers do a little bit better, so you're able to kind of
So let
disperse your
me ask
money a
you, are
little
you
bit.
talking cost in addition to membership?
Yeah, so like
Okay,
if you want somebody to like join,
yeah,
sometimes the cost is the hindrance.
yes, the lunch, the
And
travel, the
exactly.
events, the
So
donations, yeah, they are.
exactly. So, and but once again, you're wearing multiple, if you're coming on or you're trying to become a member and then realizing that people are wearing multiple hats, you're also spreading yourself a little, like, so I feel like it's multiple things, but I know that the first thing that's come up frequently in conversations was cost.
Okay, that's,
I was gonna say cost for sure,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
And we are competing with a lot of other organizations, and some are more affordable to join. So right, if you have Zonta, even though you're excited about the mission, but you have something like a junior league or something else that is similar but lower cost, especially when you're like just getting out of school, or you're saving for your first house, car, starting a family, right? Those are the decisions you're going to make. It's great we have the young professional dues, but still, when you add them on top of everything else, it can be a lot. And I know our district is thinking about at conference raising the dues pretty substantially. So I worry that that is going to deter young members. And then I think Christina was hitting at this too, but like not burning our young professionals out, right? I know in my club we have quite a few young professionals, but we also have some people who are more senior in their careers or retired. Their kids might be out of the house or something, but our young professionals are often really trying to do all these things at once and manage a lot. And we rely on them a lot because they're really good at technology. They have so much enthusiasm, right? But I've definitely seen young professionals leave because they just are like, they're asking so much of me. People are being unrealistic, right? With the hours, right? Many of us are working full-time jobs. So I think being cognizant of that. And I do see young professionals sometimes get pigeonholed into like the technology roles, right? They're always the ones doing social media, or the flyers and things like that. And if they want to, that's great. But hey, if we can teach other members, because many of us are pretty good at that or might do that in our day jobs, we might want to stretch ourselves in other ways.
Yeah.
You don't want to be like the token, oh, I'm the young person, so I have to do the LinkedIn or the Instagram.
Yeah, yeah. Does anybody have anything else? I have a couple more things I wanted to talk about. Abby,
Yeah, I would
Bonnie, go
say,
ahead.
oh, yeah, I would feel sometimes a barrier could be that Zonta can feel a little old school and even a bit like a sorority group versus a club with a very strong, powerful mission, which it is. And it doesn't really match the urgency of the issues that we care about, like violence against women and everything we're referring to. One perfect example is whenever we want someone to join our membership, they have to go through the board and then it has to get to a vote to the team, to the group. When this is such a big mission, it's so important. Why do we have so many barriers? And that's just one example. I know we've talked a lot about social presence and being in the community, but having that fresher, stronger social presence and showing those real stories, the real impact, the real voices, that's what we are looking for. We want to be part of organizations that aren't just talking about influence, but actually doing boots on the ground, influencing real change.
Yeah. Well, wow.
Can I add to that?
Yes, please, Anna, go ahead.
I think too, like something that Bonnie Sue and I discussed after our last member meeting is because right now we're inviting potential people that are interested about Zonta to our member meetings. However, our member meetings hold all this information that they don't really need to be privy to unless they are members of the club. And I've brought friends and they've sat through a 2 hour long meeting being like, I don't know what any of this means. I have no idea what the point of that was. And I still don't know what Zonta is.
Yeah.
And it's like, I've already convinced you to come. I don't like, how do I get you to come again then? So I think but if we have these events that are like, okay, hey, we're all gonna go here and we're gonna do this and we're gonna have like just again, like I think it can be as simple as just
program
having
meeting.
more community, programs and like, meeting and just commuting. I mean, as females, we like to communicate,
social,
like to be in community,
social,
right?
yeah.
But that's a better way for them to come and meet the people in Zonta,
right?
Versus having them sit through all of the rigmarole. And obviously, they still get to meet a lot of cool people and ask questions and get involved, but there's just a lot of information that gets kind of dumped on them. So I think if we have more programs, then we're able to say, hey, come hear everything else.
Yeah. So my club does a program
exciting.
meeting every single month. So every month we have an opportunity to invite. There's so much I can stay on here for hours talking to you because you all have such good information sharing. DJ, did you have something you want to share on the barriers?
That's okay. I was going to convey a very similar message to what Bonnie, Sue, and Anna said, but I will just
Okay.
say I think we're coming off of COVID where a lot of us were posting and awareness is great, but it's very passive. We're very overwhelmed by the issues that we're facing in our country and internationally. So to their points, I think we really need to emphasize just get our hands on service projects and get out there.
Absolutely. Well, I want to take a few moments to respond to a lot of what you have brought forward and let you know what the Zonta International Membership Committee Young Professional Subcommittee is up to. They have been doing quarterly networking events that are on Zoom, and Zonta International will send out those invites. And if you want to register for them, and we've had great registration, but we've had low attendance. So they've not quite been attended as much as we want. And it is a safe place that we've created for young professionals to go and share their ideas, share things that will make their Zonta experience better, and how we can increase the population of young professionals. So the next one, I don't have an exact date, but then there will be a get together at the Zonta International Convention that'll be strictly for young professionals. We're working with that committee right now to set that up. So keep your eye open for those when you register. It's on the event page at zonta.org. There's so much that you guys have brought to my attention. We are aware that costs can be for anybody, not just our younger members, but all members. Costs can become, an issue, especially nowadays. Cost of everything has gone up: travel, food, space. If you have to rent a space or use a space, and since COVID, coming off of that, DJ, you've brought that up. That it's we're all trying to figure out what this new norm is after coming off of that. And some clubs are better than others. As far as the name Young Professional, how do you like that? What do you think of that name?
I struggle with that because my daytime job is I'm a nanny, which I've been in this career field for 5 years. I'm like highly up there. I work for a private family that's very prestigious. But when I hear professional, that comes off more geared towards like corporate. And that kind of just honestly, I was a little worried because that's not a field that I'm in. I am sending emails and scheduling things, but I'm not fully immersed in the corporate side. I have a creative background, and I'm working with children in a different way, not necessarily in the classroom. So it still is just different.
It doesn't feel comfortable.
Yeah, and I think it feels a little bit more, Caitlin, I like young leader.
Yeah.
I think at the end of the day, all of us are
Put that name
probably
down.
great leaders in what we do. And I think that greater encompasses who we are. Professionals feels like it's tied to work, and we're more than just our jobs.
Let me give you a little history on that. When I first joined Zonta, they gave you, and people, some of you older, longer members are going to remember this. You had to have a category, and your club couldn't have too many teachers or too many bankers. And you had to be a professional, and you had to be in a decision-making position that you made decisions 50% of the time or more. Well, we've gotten rid of those classifications. And the fact that they picked up young professionals, I don't feel like that fits us the way we need to be represented. I love young leaders. I think that's an excellent, because we do want to make leaders. And what I did hear several of you say is how the mentoring is very important. And I love that. We do have some international mentoring programs, such as I'm trying to think of the exact name of it. Young Women and Great Mentors or something like that. It's on the Zonta International website. And we love it even more if you're doing it with inside your clubs or your district, because that's more local and they're going to be right there when you need to speak to them. And it helps your clubs grow. The networking is phenomenal. So one of the things that you guys talked about is the community, how you like working in the community, the networking, the people, the connections that you're making. Have you heard the core values that have just come out at Zonta International? Hopefully you've heard of them. If not, hopefully you hear from them about them at your conference. But we have 5 core values that have just come out, and those core values were given to us by all of our members. We had the opportunity to hear from everybody through the area workshops, and they are global community, which you talked a lot about, friendships, because all of the connections that we make are very, very important within Zonta, inclusion and equity, respect and integrity. And those are the 5 core values that Zonta wraps themselves around. And I heard a lot of that in everything y'all were telling me. We also, the fact that you've gotten involved in advocacy and service and you find value in that, that's very, very important. Being a Zonta member, period, if you're not getting value, you're not going to stay. So we really want to increase that value, like you said, by having more opportunities. If you have a club that has aging members, I have one of those myself. However, I just have brought on 5 new members, 4 of them in their 40s, which I'm delighted. And we're doing things like we're getting out and helping at a land trust and helping prepare land by doing some tree planting. We get out and we do some advocacy on street corners, but we're getting much more active, and that is attracting the younger members. So you are absolutely right that we need to have activities that are out in the community, that are active, and that will attract more people. In the young professionals subcommittee, they're looking for all of these ideas. I'm going to summarize these and send them off to Barrett, who is our subcommittee chair, and really have them hear what you have to say, because you've given us some really good information here. I want to see if there's any questions you all have for me as far as membership is concerned, or young professionals, or anything
I
you'd
think
like
one
to
of the
share.
questions was, does DJ have any information about how to attract more men to the organization?
Yeah.
Anybody?
Yeah, I would say that, well, I'll briefly share a part of my earlier story and how I got involved. I did mention how in my bio, how I'm a brother to 2 younger sisters. So I've been around my sisters playing athletics my entire life. And I've always rooted them on, and I've always been a huge supporter of girls in athletics. And whereas a lot of my male peers may not have appreciation for that. So I've always been a big defender of that. But I state that because it's something that growing up, with my mom being my role model, me being always wanting to care for and protect my sisters, I saw a lot of things that they went through, even Farrell as my partner, in the last 5 years. So I think that exposure, and then looking at Zonta and seeing no exclusive language at all. It's very clear that this is about women and girls, but that anybody can be involved. And so just being able to be exposed to the organization through my sister and knowing that I wanted to do something, as I alluded to before, but didn't know how, that was the perfect opportunity for me. So I would need to think a little deeper about how that would go out to members on a broad scale. But that's kind of where I come from in terms of my story. And I think there's so many men out there who want to help. They just need to find the right leaders that are in this organization to help integrate them and to be an ally to support all of our service projects.
Fabulous. We love having men in our organization. We have a person in my district that is a male that has been in for 30 years. And he's very active. He's on the International Advocacy Committee. I just love that we have men involved, and we do need to get more men, and especially young men, involved. So thank you for being a member and support, being so supportive of our mission.
My pleasure.
Deb,
Yeah.
I just want to say, I know that one of our goals in Zonta is to put women in decision-making positions. And I just wanted to say, Priscilla is actually running for public office. So I didn't know if she wanted to, she's going at it a second time. So did you want to
Good
say
for
anything
you.
about that, Priscilla?
Yeah, so I have
been trying to find fruitful ways to deal with my frustration about the ways that um, the national and international community continue to oppress women and people who are otherwise marginalized. And I decided that the the best way that I could make actionable change in my life would be to try to run for office. And at the least, I held other people accountable and made them have to run a race. So I ended up running for school board in our school district because that's the cheapest one you could do. It's a
Hey, you're
lot. It's a
starting.
lot.
You are starting. Yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
lot. And yeah, we had two seats that would have otherwise been completely unopposed, and I at least gave them a run for their money and made them have to run campaigns. So I wholeheartedly cannot recommend enough. If you don't have the time to run yourself, check out who is in your neighborhood because they need your help.
Mhm.
Um, you know, female candidates are much less likely to succeed. So wherever you have the time and the energy, I know as we've all mentioned, money is on short supply, but what really matters is feet on the ground, knocking on
Yeah,
doors. It feels
for
old-fashioned,
sure.
but if you
Right.
can get face to face with somebody, you can change their mind. And you can also connect with people in your neighborhood. I canvassed for myself for the first time this year and met a lot of fantastic people I didn't know in my neighborhood. So it was a good experience, and I'm looking forward
Good
to
for
another good
you.
run.
Yeah. Well, one thing I did notice with a lot of you, or a few of you, you are club president right now. And I want to applaud you for that. One of the questions I got in my district as I was on the nominating committee is why are you asking me? I'm older. Why don't you ask one of our younger members to run for area director? Well, if they haven't been president, they don't meet the prerequisites. So for those of you that are in leadership or that are on the nominating committee, tap into our young professionals, get them on that road to leadership because they're going to learn so much and also support them in the way they need to be supported. Everybody's different, everybody's going to lead different, give them their opportunity to lead in their own way. And I just love that we have already some of you in that on that road. So I don't know how much time you had. Unfortunately, I have to return to go check on my aunt at the hospital. Uh, I'm in a hotel right now. I am waiting for someone who's having some medical stuff done. So,
Well, thank you, Deb, so much for joining us and
oh,
moderating this session. It was fabulous. And thank you to all our young leaders. I like young leaders so much better as
I
well.
love that. I'm going to
I,
pass that
I,
on.
I think it's so much more appropriate. And thank you for sharing and being honest with us and telling us about your experiences because we really want to hear how we can effectuate this to incorporate you in a new way that makes you and your friends, colleagues, whoever want to be empowered as women and men as leaders in Zonta so that we can make change. Because I think if we don't work together, that doesn't happen. So we've all
Yeah.
learned this now. So I think Zonta has an opportunity we can't overlook.
Yeah, and I like to
Right.
say this is a good beginning conversation. This isn't the end. So I'd especially like to thank each of you for your participation, and hopefully we can keep this going because you've had such good ideas, and we don't want to just leave them there. We want to move on them. So, as you said, act on them. So, and there are other people that couldn't be here tonight that could have their voices heard too. So, thank you all. And thank you, Deb. And
My
thank you to
pleasure.
each one of you young leaders. Thank you.
Bye. Bye, Lisa.
Thank you, everyone, so much. Have a good evening.
Thank you
Thank
all.
you. Thanks,
Bye.
Thank
Deb.
you. Good night.
Have a good
Bye.
evening.
Bye.
Good night.
Well done, ladies. Well done.
Thanks, Pam.
You're welcome. I think it worked out great. But
Yeah.
now I think you're right. I don't think we can let this end here.
No, it has to continue. And
I think you need to add that to your table talk.
okay. Okay.
I know we never got a chance to go over this. You know, you finally sent me the thing. Do you want to talk about it tomorrow?
Yeah, that would be fine. I'm meeting
Okay.
with Alice in the morning, so maybe.
Yeah, whenever. I'm around all day tomorrow, so let me
Okay.
know when you can talk. We can talk about the
Okay.
schedule, and maybe we should add it to the table talk.
Okay. Okay, cool.
Okay? All right.
Okay, thanks
Great.
again. Good
Well, that's
night.
good. Okay, good night.